Now my Haramai, and welcome to some NZIHL action. We have a very special game tonight between the pure NZ West Auckland Admirals taking on the Canterbury Red Devils. And boy, did we have a game last night that just tilted in West Auckland's favor, a 5-4 finish. Wow, what a finish that was.
It really was. Last night's game could have gone either direction. It really came down to some close plays, some penalties right at the end. And in the story of the game, no matter how close it was, comes down to the fact that the Admirals really had it together for the power play. They scored 4 times on the power play, and that really was the difference.
Indeed, special teams playing a big role, especially early in the season as teams try to feel out how they, with some new players on the ice, some imports that made some big plays last night. And especially for the Red Devils themselves, as Haas had a hat trick in that losing effort.
Yeah, Haas' hat trick was fantastic. They finally got him the permission to shoot, and boy did he. He buried 3 of them last night. And the imports are, well, they're pretty much all the scoring for the Red Devils at the moment. So between Remy Morris and Fabian Haas, the offense runs through them right now, and the difference between the Red Devils catching fire or being tepid is really going to be whether the other players on the Red Devils can start to become dangerous as well.
You're absolutely right about that. The imports this far in the year have scored 12 out of the 13 goals for the Red Devils, so the Admirals are definitely going to want to focus on those 2 and try to make other Red Devils beat them.
That's exactly it. The Admirals did a really good job locking down defense last night. The Red Devils have had a hard time in their first 3 games getting out of their defensive third at times, at least with speed. Maybe not making a lot of mistakes, but they can't necessarily generate offense if they don't come out of their back third with speed. The imports can get around that, but the rest of the team really starts to need to prioritize that. The Admirals did a great job last night of kind of locking down that exit with speed, and because of that, they ended up with a lot more opportunities, a lot more goals, suppressing the 5-on-5 for the Red Devils, and I thought they did a really good job throughout the game, just playing smart, high IQ hockey, and that was just enough to get them over the line.
And we'll see if they can do it tonight. Again, the West Auckland Admirals will be just joining us here on the ice. As you can see, Mason Kennedy is leading the way. This is his 150th NZIHL game. Of course, the former Red Devil now playing up here for West Auckland. The solo show here as he gets a lap to himself. Played most of his career actually down in Canterbury for the Red Devils. Only 67 games here in West Auckland over the last few seasons. But great to see a veteran here get some recognition.
It was a joy calling his games and seeing him in Red Devils red, but he's had a prolific career up here as an Admiral, and he's done very well. He did really well in the playoffs last year as well. It's good to see him out here and celebrating his career. Good for Mason.
Yeah, great for the league. Also, we'll have his brother Taylor on the roster to help him celebrate this evening.
Taylor Kennedy had an interesting game last night. A couple of very crucial plays that didn't show up on the stat sheet. A couple of poke checks, a couple of steals that started their offense and really did a great job for the Admirals. He'll be a key to this game. So I think we're going to get everybody lined up here and have the ceremony for Mason Kennedy. We'll rejoin you just as soon as we go through that. It's another good way to get started there, Joel. Yesterday we had the Dale Harrop Cup at the Admirals took the first one there, and that was well earned. Today, Mason Kennedy gets his 150, and I think you're going to be up for a really good hockey game here. Yesterday's game was it was as much a nail biter, but but two different strategies, two different methods of playing the game, and seeing those kind of come together was a very interesting game. Any thoughts about today's just general playoff implications or anything that you're concerned about here?
Well, these teams are right next to each other in the standings. Admirals were able to get their first win of the season last night. Red Devils will be looking to do that tonight. And these appear to be two pretty evenly matched teams, at least 5-on-5.
Yeah, and the Red Devils, it's interesting. It's just one game between them. If the Red Devils manage to get this done in regulation, they jump back into fourth place. And I think the interesting part, this can't be understated enough, there's 4 playoff spots this year. So these guys are actually playing to make sure that they have a chance, because we're going into a break in the season, and it'll be tournament time for a while. The IIHFs, Black Sticks, or
Ice Blacks.
Ice Blacks. Wow, I said that. I was thinking about that the whole time. The Ice Blacks. Wow. I don't know where that came from, John. Don't look at me like that. It's okay. All right, here we go.
We are underway here at the Brig. And it'll be Haas, the import, the first man to chase. And kept in at the line. Puck floats towards the Chaba, the goaltender, who steers it away. And Haas, again, getting his stick on the puck early in the offensive zone, something the Admirals might want to watch out for. Here's a block chalk. Here's Zajac, the import, as the Zebra takes a tumble on the far side, and we get an offside.
I think it was offsides on the linesman there. That blue line jumped up and grabbed his ankle.
It is a bit slippery out there.
Yeah, rumor has it. Another shot. It's interesting seeing George Hopkins on this first line starting out here. That's a change for him, and he's already got a shot on goal.
Face-off won by the Red Devils, and it'll be Hopkins to play it up towards Haas, but that's intercepted by Dag. Now Dag, the offensive defenseman, will go on the forecheck. Centering feed here, unable to find the stick of Henry. Now Henry using his body in the near corner, trying to find Zajac, but that's blocked by Haas. Loses his twig in the process. Now finally played behind the net. And Brand floats it out to center ice. And Henry, far side towards Regan. Regan leaves it for Zajac. His shot floats wide. And then Moncrief loses the puck. And it pops out to the lineman, finally out. Now Reese, first man towards the net. His centering feed goes straight through. And then Andy Hart with a big check in the near corner. And now Schernitz has it, the other import for the Admirals. Now thrown towards the net, and that is covered up, and we will get a whistle.
Yeah, Schernitz with the shot that was deflected and it came in, and Reason's just going to stop it and put his glove down on it to get a stop there. But another good last minute of play by the Admirals to make sure that they controlled the chances the Red Devils had.
The shot from Hayward Jones right on. Rebound still loose for a moment. Now played up the wall, but not out. Shot again by Hayward Jones, this time blockered away by Reason. Centering feed there for Vesper. Couldn't quite get the wood on it. A little sneaky pass out front. Now players doing battle again. Hayward Jones once again forced to keep it in at the line. But Red Devils doing good work to finally punch it out.
Yeah, and that was Moncrief involved in that. Thomas Moncrief, one of the Moncrief brothers, back on the ice today. No repercussions for that little dust up at the end of last night's game.
Nice play by Haas to steal the puck from Mawson. Centering feed here, shot right on, rebound. Oh, what a save by Chaba. showing some great movement there on a fantastic opportunity for the Red Devils, the best one of the game so far for either side.
Yeah, Noah Moncrief trying to get that shot the last time, but the Admirals swarming again.
Played up the wall to center ice. There's Taylor Kennedy. He'll dump it back in. It'll be Brown with the puck. Captain gets the puck knocked off him after retreat from behind his own goal. Now cross ice pass towards Morris. And he's got a little room to work. And now Haast has it. Able to avoid Dagg, then finds Morris. Morris with a seam. A low diving shot, but unable to put it on net.
It's a heck of an effort by Morris. And again, Morris being most of the offense of the Red Devils, we cannot keep our eyes off of him. But I want to take you back to the prior play. Vesper, it's like Ovechkin. Ovechkin has his office right on the left circle face-off dot. Vesper's been right in front of the goal, and he's had several chances this weekend. He didn't put it away this time, but another close one for the Admirals.
And here's McLeish, the veteran defender. Plays over to Mason Kennedy, now up to Steven on the wing. Quigley able to dump it in, and the Admirals will chase. Nice play by Reason to get it to his defender. Now played out to center ice. McLeish able to get a stick on it, but turns it right back over. And here come the Admirals into the zone. Excuse me, that is a shot right on by the Red Devils, and a save made by Chaba.
Yeah, good pass into Moncrief as he got a good wrister off there, but it was Meisternock with a good pass through center ice that kind of eluded him yesterday, so it's good to see him go tape to tape right away.
So nice save there by Chaba to get a whistle despite that being thrown into his blocker side. And we'll get a face-off just to his right. And played down low for Haast. Trying to go behind the net with a nice nifty pass, but unable to put it on goal were the Red Devils. And now here comes Scott Henry. Right at center ice. And now Brown plays it up, and that's intercepted by Henry. Now throws one right on, but just deflected wide. Then Moncrief able to bounce it off the wall. Haast with a sneaky move there to steal the puck away, and he's forced away by Mawson. Now a turnover again. It's Haast down low, puts it through, and a nice blocker save by Chaba. And Henry will dump it in as a half change here. Some fresh legs for the Admirals. A little sloppy puck work by the Red Devils in their own zone. Lucky it was not more damage. Now Dagg, his pass is intercepted by Moncrief. And he'll force it down to the near side. That's Taylor Kennedy trying to punch it up the wall. And now center ice. Flipped it back to Kennedy. And Taylor takes his seat with a big hit. And bodies are starting to flow a little bit here in the offensive zone. And now here come the Red Devils on the attack. Sestroni throws it around the wall to Andy Hart. And now Dagg, the captain, with a soft forecheck here as the Red Devils were on the change. Sestroni with a nice pass to find a streaking Vesper, but he was unable to hold on. Now Vesper again, trying to play it towards the net, but that's broken up. Now here come the Red Devils. Cross ice looking for Reese. That's in front of everyone, but he's the first man there, so there will be no icing. Now centering feed for Reese again. Tries to throw one towards the net. Centering feed again, broken up. Little pressure there from the Red Devils. And now puck pops free right in front. But that one just floats wide. Now here's Brown with a backhander, but that one cannot connect. Now Boole centering feed to Reese. He got a stick on it, but Chaba had a skate there. Another shot, and that one's blocked by Kennedy. Brown with an attempt. And we got a bouncing pinball of a puck as bodies in front are doing their job. And finally, Hart will clear it for the Admirals. Trying to get a full change here. Here's an opportunity the other way. It's Haas bringing it into the zone. Nice play by Moss, and one-timer by Morris just misses. And now here comes Henry the other way. Haas all over the ice. He has got some speed.
I think it's fair to say Haas is coming into his own here in this league. He's figured things out. He has had himself quite a weekend, and a lot of good work by the third line for the Red Devils forwards, killing a lot of time and getting some chances here. It's a late change there by the Admirals trying to get in. Henry left all alone on that.
And Mawson will retreat. Play it over towards Zajac. Zajac, one of the imports, is rubbed out, and Moncrief there to collect. Centering feed there, goes off a skate, and Reason had to hold on.
Yeah, funny bounce off that kick plate, and it just stayed right behind the net as the Red Devils went past it, leaving an Admirals player a chance to put one right in front, but it's Reason covering it up quickly.
So the draw will be to the left of Reason. Admirals when it tried for a quick shot, but that was blocked. And the teams do battle on the near wall.
It's the second time Pake's taken one in the at the boards there.
Day with a shot right on. Rebound opportunity to goal. It's Quigley puts the Admirals up 1-0.
Quigley doing a great job of staying with that puck as Reason couldn't cover it up, and as he was extended a little bit too much forward on the attempt. You see it on the replay here. He gets pulled out of net just a little bit, and that allows the puck to get swept in behind right there.
A nice effort by Quigley, really reaching, almost no-look backhander, was able to find the back of the net to make this a one-goal game.
Joel, I think that was a little against the run of play, to be fair.
There was definitely a lot of momentum building for the Red Devils. And that goal seemed to come out of nowhere a little bit. Just an almost innocuous looking shot from the blue line, but it led into trouble. But that's the game of hockey, and we have a one-goal game.
Penalty coming up. I think it's on Schernitz.
Schernitz and Hopkins were tangled up on the near wall.
No,
it'll be
Hart.
Andy Hart wearing the full fishbowl.
Yeah, Schernitz and Hopkins were just going at it at the boards there. I thought for sure that it was going to be because he was knocked down, but it was, in the end, it was Hart for tripping.
So the first power play of the game will be for the Red Devils, as Chaba will say, let's try this again. Keep an eye out for 48 and 95 in red, who have definitely looked like they've been in control with the puck so far this game. So here's Haas on the near wall. Cross ice to Morris. Now Morris again, looking for something, throws it behind the net. Now Morris on the near wall again. He's pushed off the puck by Kennedy, and now Regan has it, and he's able to clear.
Mawson goes off for a change, a couple others, Regan as well.
So Morris with some speed into the zone. Now a race to the puck with Dag. And it's Haas, the man to collect on the far wall. Now he's taking a look towards the goal. Throws one through, but that's knocked away, and it's over to Tappan. Now Tappan down low to Haast. Now over to Morris. Morris trying to make something happen, looking for a centering feed. Just played back to Moncrief. Now up top to Haast. Back door for Morris. They had a seam there, but could not connect.
30 seconds on the power play still.
Now back over to Morris again. He's got a little space. Nice move there. Puts one through, but a save made by Chabo.
I know it's usually a basketball thing where you break ankles, but Rooney, wow, that pullback just sent him sliding.
Like I said, it's very slippery out there.
Yeah, that's a continuous opportunity for the Red Devils, and that's going to put some lactic acid in the Admirals' legs here. We'll see if that pays off.
And kept in nicely at the zone, or the Red Devils, though, able to set things up. Here's Brown, throws one towards, but just misses. Now Moncrief on the far point. Plays it down low, looking for Reese, but that's just in front of him, and Mawson's the first one there. Unable to get it out as Brown makes a nice move around him. Now Brown throws one towards the net. That's blocked by Mawson on a good recovery. Now Brown puts one through, trying to sneak one by his short side, but Chabo was there. Back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Puck still free. Reese puts one in, and Chaba forced to make a save. Wraparound attempt is swatted away, and it's finally cleared to center ice.
Red Devils going for a change here as well. It's interesting they didn't continue the pressure, but that's going to go for an ice. Kaluzny there first.
So with that penalty kill, we would like to thank Morrison's Funerals for their support of the 2025 West Auckland season. Morrison's are also the penalty kill sponsor this year. So every penalty kill is proud to be brought to you by Morrison's Funerals. We are thrilled to have you join the Admirals family. So still a one-goal game as the Admirals able to kill off that penalty. A couple of opportunities for the Red Devils, especially on that backdoor play. They're probably going to want that one back. But good to see that life is in those Red Devil skates. Now Dag from the short side. Tried to find Henry in front for a one-timer, couldn't convert. Now Brown trying to get out of the zone. But it's kept in at the line. Shot right on. Rebound over to Regan. Now some good control here for the Admirals as Dag puts one on. Cleared up, but kept in nicely by Taylor Kennedy. He'll go towards the line, forcing a stick save by Reason. Now Moncrief to chase. Finally able to get it out, and he finds the stick of Haast. Haast able to avoid a hit from Regan. But finally taken for him. Now Alex Regan, 2-on-1. Shot right, and it's off
what a
the
save.
iron. Wow, what an opportunity for West Auckland. As Zychek had one, now Dag puts one right on, and that is held on for the save.
Good choice by Dag to just put one on the logo there to get a stop. But did that hit pipe or did it? I thought that was could have been a save. Not sure on that replay, but either way, Red Devils really lucky. And again, it felt against the run of play.
It only takes a small opening, and I think both these teams have shown they have the speed to capture that opportunity when presented. So the Red Devils will start from their own own. Up towards Moncrief, but can't hit the stick. And now McLeish has it. Trying to find Steven, but that pass is behind him. Now played to center ice. That's Rooney. He'll just backhand it in. And Tappan will be the first man there.
Meister not getting doubled up there. That's the Admirals' way of trying to get some heavy pressure on the, when they're just back behind the goal line, and it's worked so far. That's the first time they've cleared it reasonably well. So Meisternock over to Tappan.
as the Red Devils forwards went off on a change, and then a bit of a turnover there, but McLeish unable to put that on goal and actually throws it into the netting for the whistle.
Yeah, that was the second time. So Meisternock got doubled up. The two players just chase after him into that left corner, which, again, that worked really well yesterday. He had 4 different situations where he didn't connect the pass, but he's been sharp today. But that pass that went across didn't come out, and another dangerous chance for the Admirals.
So here's Mawson, throws one towards Hart. And here comes Hayward Jones, the defender, playing offense here. Finds Mawson at the point, throws one through, trying to go upper glove. Had maybe a few inches to work with, but missed entirely. And now here come the Red Devils the other way. It's Reese trying to find Dodwell, threw that behind him. So Hopkins will try to throw it in, hits the stripes, and the puck goes straight to the Admirals. Now here's Mawson. He'll bring it into the zone. Centering feed there for the Vesper. And now players do battle in the near corner. Vesper plays it up towards Dagg, throws one on again, but nice stick work by Reason to put that out of danger's way. And now to the far corner. It'll be Regan. Trying to break towards the net, but Haas is able to get a stick on it. And now here come the Red Devils the other way. It's Moncrief showing some good balance on his skates, but it's taken away. And now Henry loses control and trying to find Haas, who was just trying to sneak behind, but he's able to dish it off to Morris. And now Haas trying to go back towards Moncrief, and it's played by Zajac. Now Henry into the zone. Backhander and a big save there by Reason. And Haas trying to get around Zajac. And tap it. He'll just clear it up the wall straight to McLeish, forcing Reason to make a play on it.
Regan got his bell rung there. It was Meisternock got him a little bit in the upper body, and his head just flipped backwards. I hope he's all right.
Now Morris showing some fancy footwork. Decides to skate it in himself. Finds Pack.
Penalty coming up. Morris hit hard there. If we've got that on replay, I'd love to see that, because just 2 minutes.
So the Red Devils back on the power play. Had maybe their best opportunities of the evening thus far on their last opportunity. It's good to see Morris back out there for this shift after taking that one to the face region.
Still having a discussion over on the Red Devils bench as to what they're discussing. Who knows, but it'll be Thomas Moncrief coming off, and it'll be Noah out there for this start of the power play for the Red Devils.
Face-off won by the Red Devils. It's Tappan. And he'll play it at the point. Working it towards the center. Trying to find Morris just past him. And now Mawson trying to push him off the puck. Unable to get it out. Now Haas on the far side. Unable to get a centering feed, and it's Hayward Jones that intercepts, and he'll just clear it down the length of the ice.
It looks like Morris is really getting targeted now as they're from the defensive standpoint of the Admirals. They're not losing sight of him and doubling him every chance they can.
So here's Haas tried to play that one up top, but Zajic was able to intercept. Now a race for the puck here is Andy Hart, forcing Reason to make a play on it, and he steers it well to safety. So Morris from behind his own goal leaves it for Tappan. Now Cross Eyes looking for Hast, but it goes to Moncrief. And he'll just push it down before he's taken down by Taylor Kennedy. Now Morris on the near side.
I see that he just jumped over him there. That's they're trying to bait Morris into a fight here. That's what they're doing.
That was Schernitz who has put his body all over Morris. And now here's Brown, throws one, just misses wide. Haas quick to collect the rebound with just under 30 seconds remaining in this power play. Now Brown puts one on, but a save made by Chaba. And now Haas trying to find someone going towards the net. Instead finds the stick of Vesper, and it trickles to the far side and cleared by Kennedy.
That's going to close out this penalty against Regan. He's asking whether he stays out or not.
And that penalty kill brought to you by Morrison's Funerals. So Red Devils 0 for 2 on the power play so far, but to their advantage, they have stayed out of the box themselves, where the Admirals were so dangerous yesterday.
And that's going to be an icing call. It's you get a bit of a groan from the crowd as there was a skater trying to get in on that, but clearly for hybrid icing, that is the correct call. So the Admirals will stay out with the line change that they had, and they're going to pick the right side here for, looks like Lowe's going to take this one and try and draw it back.
He does just that, and Reese will just play it towards the far end. McLeish the first one there. Trying to find Regan. Instead finds the stick of Zajic. Now to the near wall. Clears the center ice, and Kennedy has to retreat. Now Brown for the Red Devils. Over to Hopkins. Cross ice. And Hart with a good back check. Will throw it up. And it looks like that could be a penalty.
It's going to be 2 minutes for delay of game there. That was absolutely unnecessary by the Admirals. And with 24 seconds to go in this first period, they're going to have a carryover penalty that is, well, they need to hope that it doesn't bite them, because that was just either, we'll say it's unlucky, but probably just a quick mental error there.
So that is Andy Hart's second of the game, and the Admirals would like to thank returning player Andy Hart and Hart Electrical for their support this season.
A bit shocking you just chucked it out of the area there.
And that shot carries over into the netting, and we get a whistle.
Deflection on Morris. That's actually pretty good defense by the Admirals. I think that was that Vesper that got back on that one? That's pretty darn good defensive work by the Admirals.
So just under 10 seconds remaining here on the period. Admirals get a lucky bounce, and that will clear, and that will do it for our first period of action. So after one period of play, it is the NZ Pure West Auckland Admirals 1, the Canterbury Red Devils 0, but a lot happened that period.
Yeah, 20 minutes of it at least. And it's interesting because if you had, some interesting stuff at center ice. If we can go to center ice over there, some center ice shenanigans as the players leave the ice.
We have some, Moncrief taking a exception to Regan, possibly on that hit to Morris.
Yeah.
As they will continue that discussion later.
They will continue that discussion because yesterday there was an incident in the goal as a player skated into Dan Reason, and some penalties came out of that at the end of the game, and that looks like it might be a bit of a carryover. The teams tend to not like each other for the weekend. That is how that goes. So a lot of things did happen. You're right, Joel. If anything, the one thing that didn't happen was the Red Devils didn't solve Chavo. That actually is a bit of a surprise because of how many good quality chances they had. Now, I believe officially the Admirals outshot the Red Devils, but the quality of chances the Admirals got the quality of the chances the Red Devils got surprises me that they have not scored yet.
They definitely had some of the best looks thus far. The lone goal, of course, coming on that rebound and the awkward finish by Quigley. But that's ice hockey for you. Things can change quickly, and we'll see if that happens to start the second period, because remember, we're going to have fresh ice and a Red Devils power play.
Power play and the long change, so it'll be an interesting first minute 36.
But stick with us. That second period is coming soon. Kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome back to the Brig here in sunny Avondale, Auckland, where we have the NZ Pure West Auckland Admirals taking on the Canterbury Red Devils. And after one period of play, it is the Admirals who are up 1-0 thanks to that goal from Quigley, assisted by Dag. But we had quite the period with action going from both sides. So really, one-goal game shows how tight this is.
Yeah, and I'm also keeping an eye on the players coming out from the locker rooms because of all the attention going into the locker room. The Red Devils will be starting minute 36 on the power play. It was Andy Hart for delay as he knocked the puck out. And the Red Devils, against the run of play, they've been doing pretty well. They're down a goal, and we'll see if they can knock this thing up, or if the Admirals continue with their good defensive play, playing deep, a man deep. And of course,
Admirals, yes,
short bench too.
The Admirals have been good on special teams thus far. I was talking to their assistant coach, Nick Henderson, who has been working with them on that, and he's been showing how some of the older players have been key for that consistency, especially early in the season on those special teams.
Yeah, no question. The Admirals are loaded with veterans here, and I don't even mean to. I'm not even going to use the three-letter word "old" here. That's just don't do that. But the Red Devils, their mix is fairly young overall, so that it does show the maturity on the ice for the Admirals. It'll be interesting to see if they choose to. If they choose to be aggressive in this in this penalty kill for them. The Red Devils will probably be going all out here trying to get the equalizer as quick as they can.
So we are ready to start things here in the second. The Red Devils starting on the power play. So puck cleared to start things off. Reason will stop it behind his own goal. Leave it for Haast. Haast loses some footing. Able to regain and play it up the near wall towards Moncrief. Moncrief into the zone. Chased by Kennedy. Now over to Morris. Loses control of the puck. Able to get it back and play it down low towards Moncrief. And here are the Red Devils setting things up. Haast able to dish it to Morris. Morris throws one towards the net, but that's blocked by Zajac. Now Haast in the near corner. Up towards Tappan. Back to Haast down low. Now Tappan. Throws one towards the net. Rebound still loose. And Chaba's forced to cover.
It's an interesting play by the Admirals. They are daring the Red Devils to shoot from the blue line. They're sitting way back, just overloading that goal line and trying to just convince them to shoot from distance because they don't feel that that can be done. And that's negating some of the speed and chances that the imports have had for the Red Devils here.
Yeah, we'll see if the Red Devils are able to get that big body Moncrief in front to be a screen on Chaba if they're going to be taking some of those outside shots. And instead, we have Haast, who plays it behind the net. Looking for Tappan, but that's broken up and cleared by Steven. So just 20 seconds remaining on that penalty to Hart for delay of game.
And that's a double forecheck there for the Admirals, working once again. It made it tough the first time out and the second.
And Morris into the zone for the Red Devils. Leaves it for Tappan. Now Haast trying to find Morris, but a good stick by Rooney. And here comes Hart out of the box, and we're back to 5-on-5. And that is another Morrison's Funerals penalty kill for the Admirals. Now here comes Vesper with some speed. Throws one towards, but a stick save made by Reason. Now Vesper to chase in the far corner. Bodies starting to pile up as Moncrief tries to play it up, but Hart is there. Now he'll take it behind the net. He's pestered by Brown as players do battle. Vesper comes away with it. Centering feed right on, and it goes through.
Chicken jockey. It gets past Dan Reason, and the crowd goes absolutely nuts. It looked like it was just stuck in his gear there for a moment. Maybe we'll have that on replay, but it just sat there, fell down, and the referee skates over and points right at the net. 2-0, the Admirals are up.
So that is Dennis Zajac able to squeeze that one through on the one-timer, and it is a 2-goal lead for the Admirals. And just like that, another quick goal. Don't look away, because the Admirals can make you pay. So Bull has it now as the Red Devils try to regroup here. And Kennedy has it in his 150th game, takes a hit from Reese. And now Bull across center ice, throws it right into Rooney, and he's able to push it back to the red line. And now Reese avoids a big hit from McLeish. And Brown has it. He'll throw one towards the net.
Oh,
goes
that's it.
Through.
Oh, that looked like a 5-hole goal to me. That is amazing that Chaba got that one stopped.
Chaba using some groin muscles there to close it up.
Look at this. I thought this was 5-hole and got by him right there, and he still closed that down. That is an amazing save by Chaba.
What a good opportunity for the Red Devils. Had a free man in front to do what he pleased with that redirection, but Chaba's groin said no. There's Moncrief looking to put one top blocker. Just misses. And now here's Regan with some speed as players do battle. And now back to Dag, the captain, trying to find Regan, but that's broken up by Morris. Now Morris will take it into the zone with Dag on his hip. Now Morris plays it around, and it's Haas who gets control. Puts one towards on another opportunity for Morris back door, but cannot convert. And now another centering feed, and Chaba will hold on, but some very dangerous work from the Red Devils, and fantastic passing. Did everything but the finish.
Yep, Morris beat 4 guys on the way into the lower left corner and moved it around. Played one heck of a shift. He just did not have enough time to react. He took that swat at it and hoped, and it just didn't connect. That's how close that was for Morris on a fantastic shift there.
Bit of a bouncing puck as well, probably didn't do him any favors as Quigley throws one towards the net. Mawson unable to keep it in. Now a race for the puck. And now Lowell has it. He'll just throw it in towards Chaba, and he will hold on, so we will get a whistle in the offensive zone for the Red Devils.
That's such a smart play. Harry Lowe's got great hockey IQ. The Red Devils had been fully stopped right at the blue line. They were not going to get much out of that, and the Admirals were well behind. Takes the shot, forces Chaba to stop it, and then they get a face-off.
And now players do battle at the face-off circle. Finally pops free towards Hayward Jones.
Moncrief and Moses.
And Brown has it. He played up the wall towards Moncrief. And we're going to get a whistle here.
That's behind the play.
And an interference. And Moncrief with a few words there towards Cheney. He seems to be getting in the head of a lot of these players.
Yeah, the one thing that Thomas Moncrief is, he's a character. And he is talking and engaging the Admirals. And at the moment, that can do things for both teams, good and bad. But at the moment, he's taking advantage, and it's Cheney sitting down.
So this will be the 4th power play of the game for the Red Devils. And they'll have that top unit out here with Tappan, Haast, and Morris running that umbrella up top, Moncrief in front.
You know what this is again, right? It's the penalty kill for the Admirals.
It is the Morrison's Funerals penalty kill. Thank you for your support. So Haast has it. Again, looking for a centering feed. Instead, will play it down low. Finds it over towards Morris at the top of the point. Oh, Haast thought about a shot. Getting a little frustrated there from the side wall. With some good pressure from the Admirals. Now down low, there's a sharp angle chance. Save made by Chaba. Now Haas again, patiently biding his time. Finally, 2 Admirals collapse, and we're going to get an in the crease call here.
Yeah, they're going to call Moncrief for being in the crease and not doing anything, so that puck's going to come outside the zone. It's interesting. This is the 5th power play for the Red Devils. They've been on the power play for 9 minutes and 10 seconds and have not scored yet. Fortunately for the Red Devils, they haven't seen the box yet. So that's a notable change from yesterday. It was pretty much the opposite.
So 49 seconds left for the Red Devils to do something here on their 4th power play of the night.
Very generous letting Ben Steven off the ice there without a warning.
Oh, Tappan has it. He'll leave it for Morris, and Morris with some speed into the zone. And he'll just stop to set things up. Now Haas has it. The ever dangerous lefty. Now up towards Morris. Haas again surveying with a little backdoor pass there. Unable to contain it.
The Admirals continue to play very deep and very compressed in this zone, and it is working just fine for them. Daring the Red Devils to shoot from the outside. Thus far, the Admirals have just had everything on lockdown.
So here's some speed from Morris through the zone, finds Haas. Haas centering feed is broken up by Kennedy as Cheney goes right off the box, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Now Haas trying to find Moncrief, and instead gets it back. Now Dodwell absorbs a hit, but able to play it off to Morris. Morris from a sharp angle sends it straight through the crease. Now Kennedy trying to get it up towards Rooney, and the Admirals will get a change here as they had some tired legs on that shift.
Yeah, the Admirals would have had a 3-on-1 if they didn't have to take that change. Oh, that's a big hit. Mostly just by skating into it. I think that was Reese again. That's going to be a penalty against the Admirals. Well, it looks like a cross-check. Not sure on this one.
So it looks like this might be a retaliatory cross-check.
Yep. Dodwell going in. And a bit of Bronx cheer from the crowd there as the Red Devils see the penalty box for the first time tonight.
So we get our first power play of the game for the Admirals. And the Admirals are sponsored by Print Plus. So this is a Print Plus power play for the Admirals, and they were highly successful with this unit last night.
Yeah, watch Vesper try to get low as he did. He's doing exactly that. As he drops into the slot, that was the most dangerous position yesterday, and he's open again.
Now here's Dag. One-timer there for Zajac, but he just misses wide. Stuck into the netting, so we'll get a whistle as the puck was resting on the back of the net.
Yeah, they pretty much have set up in a 1-3-1 kind of a appearance when you see it. It's not exactly what that is. But you'll see Vesper, 22. He's over on the right side right now. You'll sneak in just below those the dots there and try to get a close-in shot. And that worked twice, I think, yesterday, once on the power play.
So here's Zajac, puts one through. Blocker saved by Reason. Nice work by him. Now Mawson from behind the net, but that's stolen from him by Brown, but not out as Zajac is able to bat that out of the air. Now over to Regan. Dag up top. Throws one towards, but a pad save made by Reason. Centering feed here towards Zajac. Again looking for a tip from Vesper in the slot. And now Zajac collects. Throws one through. Glove saved by Reason. Not sure how he saw that one through traffic. And a very active power play here for the Admirals as Dag comes in from a sharp angle. Hits Mawson in the backside. Otherwise, that was another opportunity. Zajac throws one through. Tipped by Vesper, but just wide. Admirals really need to clear the zone here as the lactic acid is building up. Now here's Regan with a shot that's deflected finally over the glass, and we get a whistle.
That's a big relief for the Red Devils there, getting that break. That was a minute 24 on that power play of nonstop pressure. And they did do a good job of adjusting from yesterday. That was just the first time we've seen that power play. And the adjustment in their box of getting out on Vesper and not allowing 2 in front has paid off so far. They just need another quick clear.
So here's Hayward Jones again, throwing one towards the net. Reason forced to make a save. So Admirals have been getting 4 shots on goal so far on this power play and have been swarming the net looking for rebounds. Again, there's a shot and a goal! Flynn Hayward-Jones puts it in, and it's a 3-goal lead for the Admirals.
Reason just did not see that one coming in as he was trying to adjust around other players and get a look in. That puck just stayed a little bit behind, and you'll see it here on the replay as it gets dragged back. That long shot, he just didn't see it in time, and he had to react the wrong way, and it gets over his right side.
So just what the Admirals ordered was another power play goal. That makes them 5 for 9 on the weekend so far.
Yeah, that's that is a percentage that will win you a lot of games.
So the Admirals are going to have to dig out from 3 goals, but still plenty of time left in this game as we are just about halfway through.
Yeah, the Red Devils just need to get some of their tic-tac-toe plays together. If they can do that, they can score in quick bunches. They showed that in the second period yesterday. However, the Admirals playing the way that they're playing, they have some chances to just hang back.
Nice play there by Dag to break up Haas. But now Haas regains control, looking for a centering feed towards Morris, but that's broken up by Zajac. And he'll just clear it the length of the ice, and this should be an icing. And it is.
Good skating there by Meisternock and Tappan to make sure that they get back. They're going to get to change. That's their reward. The Admirals have to stay out there. So it's halfway through the second, halfway through the game. 3-0, pretty indicative of how the game has gone. I mean, the Red Devils have had chances. They're going to stop that one and say a circle violation there, so they're going to face off again. But in this, again, still no changes, but the Red Devils just not putting it past Chaba.
Morris all alone, he scores!
There it is.
Just what the Admirals needed, and it's a 2-goal game.
Yeah, the Red Devils finally getting on the board here. Morris with the toe drag, just being patient right out the faceoff. And 3-1 the score for the Red Devils, 2-goal deficit. But they get the goal that they just gave up off the power play right back. And we're back to a 2-goal deficit.
Fantastic play by Morris, just right off the draw. It's almost as Zajac was not prepared for that. And a nice patience to finish that. So just some momentum, perhaps, that the Red Devils were looking for.
That was one of those quick face-off drops at center ice there. That was interesting. They didn't really do that much Saturday, but they've been doing it around the league, trying to follow the IIHF rules. It'll be interesting if that comes up in the game again because it's done so in several games.
So here come the Admirals as Quigley, the first goal scorer of the game, bringing it into the zone, avoiding a check from Brown. Able to push him off the puck, but not before it's played to Haas. Now Haas with some speed, trying to get around McLeish. Able to do so, centering feed here, finds a stick of Morris. But a save by Chaba, almost as if he was surprised it hit his tape.
It was on Morris's tape, and he didn't realize it until it was too late.
But what a find by Haas.
Haas has been making some pass levels, some passes that are just far beyond anything you normally see.
Oh, here's a turnover. Shernitz all alone, but Reason is able to keep it out. And now the other way. Boole had a step, possible breakaway, but unable to get it to him.
Just a little bit too far on that one. Boole almost getting there. Wow, what a change in events there. Brown just, Brown is such a solid player, but occasionally things get, he'll look up and leave the puck behind or just kind of whiff on something. That's kind of his one weakness area in that, and that one nearly caught everybody by surprise.
Well, it's a bit windy area of the ice because the Admirals player was also not able to get a stick on that wide open shot either.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So instead, we'll have Hart unable to control it, and it'll be up to Tappan. He's pressured by Schernitz. Plays it down low towards Vesper. Vesper looking for Hart, but instead takes a massive hit into the wall.
Vesper a little slow to get up there, too.
Now here's Reese with some speed the other way, and he's taken down by Mawson, and the bodies are flying. A lot of man-on-man action. And now here's Mawson. He finds Hart. He stood up by Boole at center ice. And it'll be Hayward Jones forced to retreat. Able to get it out of the zone to Hart, but he just gives it right to Tappan. Now back to Hart. And he'll throw it to the far corner for Regan. Regan takes a slap at it, misses everything, and that goes into the netting for a whistle.
Yeah, very interesting how this this game has changed its momentum into, well, just the style has turned into a more physical game as soon as the Red Devils scored. Here's that great hit into the board. I guess it depends on who's it's great for, a person's hit. And here's some more discussion between Kennedy and Moncrief.
Moncrief seems to find his nose in every one of these conversations. He must have some really good recipe tips.
That or he's Australian, one or the other. We'll leave that one. I mean, I'm sure he's telling everybody they invented pavlova, so it's a long discussion there.
Well, I can understand, yeah, the level of excitement that can bring. So here's Haas, 2-on-1 opportunity. He's got Morris, centering feed to Morris. Oh, and what a
glove
by
save.
Chaba. How did he find that?
I don't know how he found it, but he stuck his glove out and really saved the goal. Just should have gone in. Let's see that. That's unreal.
Wow. Morris got some elevation on that one-timer too, but just great side-to-side movement by Chaba. That is the fourth doorstep opportunity for Morris in this game. Well, fifth if you count the goal.
Count the goal, yeah, exactly. But the but Chaba, I mean, if anything, Morris just a little too close there when that happened, and that was good defense holding up that puck. But the physicality for the Admirals really picking up. There's another hit by Regan. They're looking to use that to their advantage.
So here's Zajac, tried to leave it for Henry, but he can't control. Now Morris has it. Long pass towards Haas. Haas with the seam here. Haas, 1-on-2. Centering feed for Morris, and that one somehow does not go in. Kennedy bats it out of midair in an open goal. Wow.
Morris and Daigle having a quick conversation behind the play as well. And a penalty coming up on somebody here, and I think it's going to go against Sean Brown if I've got this pointing correct.
So here's that replay, a bouncing puck, and it's towards the net, and then just right there, Taylor Kennedy knocks it out of the air on the goal line.
Unbelievable. I still don't know what this call is. Brown on the in the box for two. Still waiting to see if it comes up on Hydra here, if that's in real time. We'll let you know what that call was as soon as we find it, but it is the Admirals on the power play.
So we have a Print Plus power play for the pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. 1-for-1 so far tonight. Looking to add to that potent lineup they have with a man advantage.
Now, the last time the Admirals took the power play on, they stayed in their zone for 85 seconds before it was able to be cleared, and that was by accident. So we'll see how that goes here.
So Zajac over to find Regan. Regan with a speed, and Reason forced to make a save.
That puck just dangling right on that blue line, but deemed to stay onside, allowing for that shot.
Admirals do a good job playing a little two-man game here on the side, opening things up on the back side for the speedy Regan. Something they might try to come back to. Now Regan up top to Dag. Over to Zajac, one-timer, hits Mawson in the chest, but unable to get it to his stick. Now Zajac again, over to Dag. Now two-man game between Zajac and Dag again. Zajac throws one off the side of the net, trying to catch Reason leaning. Now Dag and Zajac again. Zajac with some speed, throws one in and a goal. Zajac goes top cheddar over the glove, and it's another power play goal for the Admirals.
That has been the story of the weekend, really. It's the power play of the Admirals and the penalty kill of the Devils. Officially, that, well, as that goes just over Reason's glove, outstretched and just getting into that corner. Great shot. That penalty was an illegal check to the head by Brown, and the Admirals pay it off with yet another goal. 4-1 the score.
So the Admirals are 2 for 2 on the power play today. That is some serious potency. So it is a 4-1 game, as Sherenitz has it in the offensive zone for the Admirals. Shot right on. Reason able to make a stick save and then holds on for the whistle.
Yeah, the Red Devils are just trying to, well, I think they're just trying to catch their breath here, really. It's, again, they're back down by 3 goals. They've got to figure something out quickly. They'd really like to get one back before the intermission here.
Still have over 5 minutes left to play here in the second period, as Haast has it. And he'll try to get around McLeish. Puck loose, it's Morris again. And it just squirts free. And now here comes Zajac the other way. Finds Vesper. Vesper alone, and a glove save made by Reason. Fantastic opportunity thwarted by the goaltender Reason. Now here comes the Red Devils the other way. Haast with Chernik on his hip. Now Haast trying to do it himself, but couldn't get around Vesper. And he'll collect it from behind his own net. Now up the wall towards Hart. Throws one off Morris.
Dinged it right off his head there, too. Hit him in the side of the helmet.
So Brown has it in his own end while the rest of his team changes, so he'll just skate it himself. Brown here going coast to coast. And then a big hit in the corner as Hayward Jones throws him down, but not in a legal manner.
They're going to call boarding on that. I'm a little surprised. It's, I mean, his feet came out from under him there, but that's a little bit, well, I'm going to give my opinion here, but when you see this hit, that's been legal for most of the evening, and then they apply it here to Hayward Jones. He was a little bit behind, and I think that's more of a by-the-book call, but it does run against kind of how the physicality has been for the rest of this game.
So the Red Devils get their 5th power play opportunity as the puck flies over the glass for a whistle.
Oh, and for clarity, it was Flynn Hayward Jones that took that penalty. Just one of the Hayward Joneses out there. It's Flynn taking that one, not Nash nor. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Nash is the other. Yeah, just making sure. There's lots of brothers in this league. It does require some clarity sometimes.
It is a Fano affair. So we'll have Tappan trying to leave it for Bull as the second power play unit will start things off here for the Red Devils. And this is another Morrison's Funeral penalty kill for the Admirals. And there's a turnover. Zajac puts one on, and Reason forced to make a bit of a uneasy save there, as that might have been trying to go 6-hole between the arm and the body.
And with Reese making that hit there, that allowed Reason to get a good view of that shot, which was necessary. But it's a reminder, the Red Devils have 5 players, and the Admirals just 4 on the ice right now, so skaters. So it's a reminder they're on the power play. They just haven't really done much with it to this point.
Well, with that whistle, the Red Devils able to get their top unit back out there. Here's Haas going coast to coast before he's knocked off the puck. And now Brown with an open lane. He'll just set things back up. Throws one towards the net. Chaba able to see that cleanly. Rebound get kicked right to Moncrief, and Chaba had to make another save.
That was a good positional save by Chaba as he was in the right spot for that rebound. And because of that, it actually ended up being a little easier than you might have expected on a rebound like that. But the Admirals sticking to their plan of just backing off and letting him shoot. And that is offside, Noah Moncrief.
Moncrief in a step too early with the streaky Morris next to him. And so we will get a face-off just outside the zone.
So that's a minute 16 off that penalty, 44 seconds to go. And the Red Devils, again, if you're going to be a Canterbury fan at this point, you're really thinking they've got to get something going here as far as the offense is concerned. The Admirals, on the other hand, just sticking to the script and playing solid defense, and it's working for them.
So here's Moncrief into the zone. Under 30 seconds remaining on this power play. Without able to get much going on it.
Yeah, that was Schernitz going off the ice there because he lost his hat. That's the hat that the puck went by there.
So behind the net, it's Kennedy. Broken up by Haas. Haas will just throw one towards the goal, and that is deflected out of play.
Moncrief, boy, he knew that puck was coming in. He covered up and turtled quickly on that as that big slap shot was coming in from Haas, and it just goes just a little bit over. But the power play's over.
I think Moncrief there was maybe looking for a bit of a penalty.
Moncrief is always looking for a penalty. That's just Moncrief. But again, he's trying to, and effectively doing so, become more of a part of the game and making that, making everybody think about him. And that has paid off. He plays bigger than he is, and he's a big boy.
So just about 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. Admirals holding on to that 3-goal lead as Regan tries to do some work in the far side. Boole on his back. And players jostling for position before the puck comes out into center ice. Now Mawson will just throw it back in. And Dodwell has it on the near wing. Able to get it up towards Reese at center ice, but Mawson cuts him off. And the Red Devils again will start from their zone. Reese has it now. He'll just throw it along the wall. Hayward Jones, the first one there. Able to avoid Dodwell. Comes up to Tappan at center ice. And that's broken up by Mawson. Now Mawson bringing it into the zone. One-on-one here with Tappan, but a good back check by Boole to disrupt him. And now Hart has it in the far corner. Able to get around Brown.
1 minute left in the second period.
Finally taken by Haast. Seems like whenever the Red Devils need it, they have one of their imports come in to settle things down. Now here's Moncrief with a nice move to get around Vesper. And then played to the far side.
He's triple teamed, and then you get a funny bounce off the Zamboni door there, and it goes back to the Admirals.
So now here's Vesper. Trying to find Zajac. Doing work with Hopkins. Now up towards Dag at the line. Backhands one towards goal. Blockered away by Reason. Now Schernitz. Can't get around Morris. And it's played up and out into the bench, so we will get a whistle.
Yeah, that hit glass first before it hit the net, so no delay of game there. It's been interesting seeing Reese on the second line. So he was a starter on the first line yesterday, but he's been kind of the solidifying factor in this second line. They've been playing pretty well. It's just really the Red Devils giving up the power plays. Really the difference in this game again.
Well, if you are having trouble with your lines, the pure NZ West Auckland Admirals would like to direct you towards All Plumbed In, who are returning as a gold sponsor for the Admirals this season. Well, that does it for the second period. A lot of action end to end, but it ends up with 3 more goals for the Admirals to the Red Devils 1 to give them that 4-1 advantage after 2 periods of play.
Yeah, Joel, I think that well, let's see. I think we need to watch everything coming off the ice here, because after the first period, it was a little bit dicey, but looks like it's going to be an orderly exit this time. Again, this comes down to, can the Red Devils stay out of the penalty box, because they don't seem to be able to stop the puck on the PK. So without that, the Admirals are just playing, again, high IQ hockey, sitting back and waiting for it. When they're on the penalty kill, they play deep, they wait for a long shot. And the biggest thing is that the Admirals have done a very good job of shutting down speed going into the offensive third for the Red Devils this first 40 minutes. If they can't get a give and go and get some speed going in, the Red Devils don't really want to sit there and play a blue line game. And they know that. The Admirals know that. So they play back and they just prevent speed from coming into the zone. So far, that's the playbook against the Red Devils. So the Admirals are executing well, and because of that, and because of the power play, they're up 3 goals in a commanding lead going into the third period.
Still a lot to play for. 20 minutes of action still yet to come your way. A lot can happen and things can change quickly in this sport, so stay tuned. We'll have the third period for you coming up shortly. Kia ora koutou kato, and welcome back to the Brig here in Avondale, Auckland, for the game between the NZIHL's two bottom teams on the table, but maybe not for long, as we have the Canterbury Red Devils visiting the pure NZ West Auckland Admirals, and we have a 4-1 game after 2 periods of play, but there has been a lot of action.
A lot of action so far, and this has come down to special teams, just like it did yesterday. The special teams for the Admirals have been very good. The Red Devils have been let down by it, despite the fact that their offense has come from other sources. They've just not been able to kill penalties, and that's really where we're at with this game. 4-1 the score and 20 minutes to go, and the Admirals, if they can come through and get 6 points out of that, it is a big weekend for them, putting them back up the table quite a bit.
That is exactly what they're looking for, and they've done a really good job of slowing down both Haas, even though Morris did get that 1 goal for the Red Devils, but to stop the speed of those imports has really paid off thus far. So 3rd period underway here at the Brig, and it's the import Zajac who's able to get that 4th goal for the Admirals. His turnover here towards Morris into the zone, puts it right on, and a blocker save made by Chaba.
Yeah, and he ended up gloving that 1-on-3 for Morris, but he does a really good job of getting that offensive face-off, which is exactly how they need to get the Red Devils offense kick-started here.
So things starting in the right direction for the Red Devils here in the 3rd, but they're going to need to get at least 3 goals to try to scrape away some points in this one. So there's Kaluzny, the former Botany Swarm player, now for the Christchurch Red Devils. And now Brown will try to bring it into the zone, but Regan's able to collect. And here's a turnover here towards Moncrief. And then played out to center. And here's Henry. Puts one through, but blocked by Kaluzny. And here's Zajac. Zajac up the wall, able to find Regan. Into the skates of Hart. And now here come the Red Devils. Zajac, though, steps in front and is played back for Dag.
You mentioned Kaluzny twice. He had a really good shift there defensively, upending the Admirals' chances.
And their puck flies into the Red Devils bench, so we get a whistle and we'll get a face-off outside the zone.
I think that nearly hit the cafe from there. That was quite the ricochet, but neutralized face-off nonetheless. And the Red Devils, all heads accounted for, everybody's okay. But interestingly, it's Haas going off the ice. Don't know, he's shutting the door there. Not sure what that's about, but he is headed back to the locker room. That is a big concern for the Red Devils.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And let's hope it's something as simple as that.
Even strength for both teams here, and the Admirals are just chugging away, just like they've been doing.
Been a fairly relentless and consistent effort from the Admirals as they once again throw it into the bench.
Yeah, it looks like Haas is okay. He's coming back out on the ice. I'm not sure if that's maybe just an equipment problem there, but he had to go back, get something, and he'll be re-entering. And a little trouble with the door there, but
getting some help from a young fan as well.
Yeah, they're sorting that door out. They're just going to have to hold the face off for just that. But now
and she did a fantastic job, actually.
Yeah.
Well done.
Shout out to the fans here in the Brig, keeping things together.
So Admirals with that 3-goal lead. Start from their own end. There's Rooney, who just puts one through. Pushed aside, rebound opportunity from Steven. Couldn't hit the net. And the Red Devils able to clear it momentarily before McLeish throws it back in.
Steven had a wide open net there. He's going to dream about that one because that really puts the pressure on the Red Devils if he closes that out.
Going towards the net again was Rooney, but Reason steered it aside. Steven again unable to do much with it. but is able to get the puck back. Now throws it towards the net again, and Reason has to make the save.
That puck went behind Reason there well after the whistle. That's why the goal light came on. The goal light, they can put that on, but it doesn't actually count for anything. It's just recommendation.
Here's that chance from Steven.
Yeah, he had him well out of position, and anything on target there at all, then it becomes a very different game.
Tough shot, though, with his momentum going the other way completely. Had to be quick, but was unable to make it as accurate as needed. Well, here's another opportunity for the Admirals off the faceoff. There's Zajac, plays it up the wall, and is cleared to center ice. Here's Kennedy over to his D partner, Dag.
That's Gallagher out there getting some ice time. He's really pushing the skates there and doing a good job of the forecheck.
And now into the zone. There's a shot right on. Save made by Reason. Dag trying to find Henry. That gets through everyone, and it will go for an icing.
Let's see if we have that save on there. That's a pretty great chance for the Admirals. Let's see if that's there. No, just off there. The Reason was in a good position for that, so good play all around.
So just like to mention, BFT Blockhouse Bay is sponsoring the Admirals this year. Come for the workout, stay for the community. Have you been to any BFTs?
I'm not really. I'm going to pass on that one. I think that's safest.
Fair enough. We can stick to the ice rink for our workouts here. Takes a lot of work saying words. As a shot got through to Chaba. There's a
what a hit there.
Hit.
Meisternock with a big shot on Regan again. Regan's going to remember Meisternock for a long time. And that's another whiff there.
There's been a lot of chirping towards the direction of Regan all game, too.
Yeah, he said something and clearly got under the skin of the Red Devils there.
One-timer and a big save there by Reason on Vesper. And here comes Haast.
Haast upended. That is going to be a call there. The Reason going off the ice. Morris taking the puck behind the net, and it'll be 6-on-5 until it's touched. Although you got to be careful there, Mr. Moncrief. You can still score on yourself.
So Moncrief into the zone. Gets a shot off. Stopped by Chaba. That's the whistle. And we will have the 6th power play for the evening on the Red Devils coming up shortly.
We'll see who's going to serve this. This is
Andy Hart?
Yeah, it's going to be Hart going for this. He's having some words with the orange cuffed man over there. Not sure exactly what the call is. We'll get it for you when it comes up.
But an opportunity here for the Red Devils to try to cut into this lead a little bit, and now would be the perfect time to do it. So here's Mawson trying to clear, able to do it. Took a hit from Reese along the way, though.
Yeah, I think most of that energy from Reese ended up into the boards, luckily for him. So that's they're definitely trying to physically narrow the numbers on there. It's a good play by Reese, and it allows them to come out quickly.
So here's Haast. What a move around. He shoots, he scores! What a goal by Haast! And it's 4-2 Red Devils.
We need to see that one on replay here. Chaba's actually like, what happened? Because I don't think that hit. I don't think that's a goal, honestly.
I saw that hit the back pipe underneath the bar. It got past him inside.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. That came quickly, and that hit the pipe. That is a goal.
What a goal by Fabian Haast. Absolutely fantastic play end to end.
So there's some discussion on the ice there. There are a lot of people that are concerned about it, but I think Joel saw it very clearly. I saw it come out just as quickly, but from what we can tell on the replay there, it looks good. It's just going to be a matter of whether they clean this up. And Justin Day giving the death eyes here. Can we run that replay again, Josh? Do you have that? Let's take a...
Yeah, let's see if we can get another look. What a great toe drag, and then that's in.
Yeah,
that's 100% in.
Yeah, so we're pretty good with that up here. And that is going to be 4-2. They're having the discussion.
But Admirals not happy about that at all.
No, but...
And the fans are on their side.
Yeah, of course they would be. It is a one of those situations where it does come out of the cage very quickly. But we're good with it here, and I think we got the call right on the ice. I mean, we'll take a look at it at length, I'm sure, later. But at the moment, 4-2 the score for the Red Devils. Or for the Admirals, excuse me.
So that might be just what the Red Devils need. There's another shot right on. Good save by Chaba. Centering feed towards Reese, unable to control. And now here come the Admirals out of the zone. So a little, not only do they get the goal, but a little bit of ire from the side of the Admirals, who feel, or at least at the moment until they look at the replay, that they may have been cheated on a goal. So here's Haas, finds Reese. Reese puts one through, and a big save by Chabo.
Oh, it's another good chance for Reese. Reese has been he's been unlucky this weekend. He's had a couple of chances. They're on target, but he's just not quite beating Chaba on a particular direction. If he got a little bit of luck, this would be a different weekend series, to be fair.
And that was a really fantastic save by Chaba to come out, cut off the angle.
Yeah, and let's be fair to him, too. He's not all that happy at the moment, and he still had the mental fortitude to get there and save that one.
Just a miscommunication there by Austin. Tappan gets a free clear out of the zone as they are starting to apply some pressure before that mistake. And now here's Tappan, who throws one over the short glass here.
And it's called deflected, so it's not going to be a delay. Well, no, it is.
That is the call.
That is apparently directly out, and they're going to call Tappan for delay of game here.
Unfortunate with that short glass here at the brig.
Yeah, that's well, we'll leave opinions aside for a moment, and we'll continue with the power play here for the Admirals. The Admirals are going to get another chance here, and if they can put this back to 3 goals, which, you know, past performance may be an indicator here.
2 for 2 so far tonight.
And 6 for 10 on the weekend. I think they're at 60% right now, so that's...
that is absurd.
Yes, it is.
That is absolutely absurd. So here's Lowe the other way. Puts one towards the net. Chaba clears that away.
An audacious shot attempt for Lowe. He's just trying to get that face off. He couldn't quite do it, but a good choice.
Here's Vesper. Puts one through and a goal. Max Vesper, short side, and it's another power play goal for the Admirals.
Make that 7 out of 11. Even Chaba's given some stick taps for that one. That was a fantastic roof shot. Let's see it again. Here comes Vesper. Oh, and they're milking it with the fans here. Oh, excellent choice. Excellent choice. And the once again, Vesper showing some great offensive skills. He's been doing it all weekend.
So,
yeah, that's a face-off violation. It was Ben Stephen was over the line, and he knew it, so they're going to redrop that one.
So back to a 3-goal cushion here for the Admirals, and off the penalty to Tappan. And we would like to mention the West Auckland Admirals are proud to announce a new partnership with 2 Dudes. That's right, 2 Dudes. Produce top quality men's products as Hast into the zone here.
And Mawson grabbing his nose like it got hit, but I don't really think that was in play there.
Hayward Jones behind the net gets hit by Reese. And the Admirals able to get it to center ice. Now played up the wall as Moncrief slaps it forward. Mawson to chase with Morris. Morris dodges him and leaves it now towards Haas. Haas trying to make a break towards the net, forgot the puck for a second, and then gets taken to the ice. Now Haas again, centering feed towards Morris. A little too hot for him to handle as a delayed call is coming here on the Admiral. So
it should be interference
momentarily.
Yeah, Morris also got hit high. It depends on what they're going to call.
So here's Haas. Knocked away from him, and that will be the whistle and the penalty.
A little bit of discussion, Mr. Hopkins and Mr. Rooney again. These two teams are really getting annoyed with one another. So there's a cross check. And it'll be 2 minutes for Mawson to go off the ice. Again, we're starting to get to that critical point here, Joel, where the Red Devils just have to generate some offense. And if they don't, they're just going to run out of time, basically.
Red Devils unable to keep it in at the line, so that will be an offside.
Yeah, that was pretty close there. Haas thought he had it, but just over the blue line.
So this is a Morrison's Funeral penalty kill for the Admirals. Face off outside the zone here. And as I mentioned, two dudes and the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals collaborating on some exciting content over the course of the season. Very extremely pleased to be partnered with them. And there's a shot and a save by Chaba as Thomas Tappan is actually a co-founder of that company, very much involved in the ice hockey scene, and brother Luke, who plays for the Red Devils currently. So exciting work from two dudes and ice hockey here. There's a shot from Haas that just deflects over. He had a lot of lead on that one.
That was piping hot, but I think it was Regan that got a stick down and went over Chaba. It never actually bothered him. He had a good look at it, and that's exactly what the Devils need to do, is quick chances, as there's still 1:43 on this power play.
So top unit out there again for the Red Devils. Really need to get something going here with Morris to take the draw against Zajac. Won by the Red Devils. Played up to Tappan, who cannot keep it in with Zajac on his back. And it'll be Morrison forced to chip it back behind the net.
They're letting them play. That's another one. Zajac just continually hitting players. That really could have gone for an interference call, but so far the arms are down.
And now Moncrief at center ice. Leaves it for Tappan. Now over towards Morris. Plays it up the wall. Haas avoids a big hit from Regan. Now Moncrief throws it into the far corner for his brother. Now Brown with a slapper, steered away. Kept in nicely, but only momentarily. And here's Dag the other way. Short-handed, brings it into the zone, finds Regan. Regan with a sharp angle shot and a save made by Reason.
Regan getting in there was kind of an inexcusable 2-on-2 situation where there was some miscommunication. He ended up with a very good chance there. It didn't pay it off, but the Devils get away with one as they were thinking a little bit too much about the offense there. And if they do get away with it and get a score on this, look back on that as one of those changing plays of the game.
So we have just 35 seconds remaining on this power play. And there's Reese, tried to do a bit of a centering feed. Didn't have any help in the slot and is once again cleared out to center ice. Dodwell has it.
Dangerous pass there by Meisternog, but he got away with it.
And McLeish has it now for the Admirals. Plays it behind the net. Race for the puck here. Won by Kennedy, and it's back out to center ice.
Mawson's going to be back out in 3 seconds here.
And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey.
So with just under 10 minutes to go, the Red Devils will be clock watching. And again, they can turn this around quickly if they need some luck to do it.
Well, here's Morris. Scrappy play, puts one through, and what a glove save by Chaba.
Good glove save. It looked like it was just over the crossbar coming through, but he chooses to stop it, and a smart play. Not only because it was close, but because he's going to get a stop when he needed it. Here it is.
Oh, I don't know. I think that was on goal.
You think so?
That's a quick glove either way.
Either way, but a good choice to stop play here because the Admirals needed a little bit. And this is another situation where you get a late change, and they're going to get away with it at home.
The top line here for the Red Devils logging some heavy minutes here in the third, trying to generate some sort of offense. And now here's Zajac. Finds Henry with a seam. Henry, backhander and a save by Reason. Now Dag from the point puts one right through, and another save by Reason. Able to clear that one to the near corner. And now Kennedy at the point. Down low looking for Regan. Goes to Kaluzny. Plays it up towards Hopst.
2-on-2.
And Moncrief hits the deck there, but looks like a penalty will be called and a tripping will be assessed. So another power play for the Red Devils.
Yeah, I'll be honestly, I mean, whether or not you think this was a trip or a penalty,
I think they're going to call it a hook. Yeah,
it's a hook. Okay. So either way, no matter what, if I'm the Admirals, I'm not too worried about this. Honestly, they've been playing so well on special teams that they, why not just sit here and wait these 2 minutes out? It only helps them. The Red Devils going to the left side, but the inability to score on this power play for the Red Devils has been telling. We'll see if they can do it here finally.
So there's some good aggressive penalty killing right off the draw to attack and clear the zone.
Yeah, and that's different. The Admirals being aggressive on this. Now they do normally keep the 2 forecheckers to make sure that the Red Devils get out cleanly, and they don't always, but they do here. But they'll settle back into that dot line, 3 players deep, to see if they can do anything with it. And why not if they can keep clearing the zone like that?
But once again, as you mentioned, that set up by the Admirals, staying true at the blue line and then bodying them as they come into the zone.
Yep.
Creating those turnovers.
And you'll see it here as well. They're staying at the blue line. That may be I don't know if that's a change so much, but it requires the Red Devils to actually set up, and they haven't been able to do that. They may do it here, though.
Yeah, finally get into the zone. And able to at least try to set something up now with Hopst on the near wing. Takes a hit from Zajac. Unable to get help, and is Regan there to clear it.
That's a minute gone out of this power play. The Admirals going over the boards, but Regan getting a turnover, killing more time.
Doing some 1-on-2 work, killing some valuable seconds.
They look like a soccer player in the corner there trying to kill a game.
Now here's Brown with a shot. It just deflects wide. Now played down low, and it's Brown again. Tried to find Dodwell. Boole took a hack at it and missed. And Hopst out there. Leaves it for Moncrief.
And here they back into it with all 4.
Now Hopst from behind the net. Makes a nice move to get around Kennedy's centering feed, though. Couldn't find anyone.
Yeah, I think all 4 players were behind the face-off dot for a good 10 seconds there. That's just, you don't see that.
And another centering feed, but nobody home for the Red Devils as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So another Morrison Funerals penalty kill for the Admirals.
Yeah, it's a lot of successful kills for the Admirals.
Thanks to Morrison's Funeral Home. There's an interception by Morris at the line. Trying to get around the defender, throws one towards the net, but that's deflected nicely and out of play.
Yeah, they get another face-off chance deep in the offensive zone here for the Red Devils, but again, you're waiting to see some sort of tic-tac-toe happen, some sort of connection, and right now, getting that well, I don't know if this is going to be a second line. Well, they're moving it over to the right side now. But it's got to be 2 passes in order to beat Chaba because he's been very focused tonight.
So it looks like we've got Morris double shifting at center, picking up some time with this second line. And he'll take it and try to put it into the zone himself. But Hart steps up. And now Reese intercepts.
Yeah, Lowe with a big attempt there for a hit, and that just didn't work. And Meisternock with a pass, that's not going to get out of the zone.
And Reason is forced to cover. So just 5.5 remaining here in the final period. Admirals still have that 3-goal lead.
Joel, I think if there's anything that's been different about this game, yesterday it felt like the Red Devils could turn on their offense when they needed to. Chaba was playing okay, but it felt like they hadn't really been able to adjust. Now the Admirals have adjusted, and boy, does it show.
And one man who's been a little bit quiet today is Haast. They've been able to control his speed quite nicely. His skill as a playmaker has been evident, able to find a couple opportunities backdoor, but unable to convert as Dag goes the other way, trying to get around Hopkins. Out to center ice now. And now here's Haast again. There's a bouncing
redirected.
puck. Chaba makes a nice save on that. Now Hopkins throws one towards the net, but that actually hits the stick of Boole, his own player, and the puck goes into the Admirals bench.
So a 3-goal lead maintained throughout this period. It looks like the Red Devils just need to go for broke at this point. There's no reason to not empty the tank here. They need at least a point out of this weekend to call it any kind of a success. The Admirals coasting their way into a 6-point weekend here.
So it looks like Morris once again centering now what appears to be the third line. He is relentless out there.
I think he's going to probably, he might lead a few things in this league, but he will definitely lead minutes.
He has not had much time to rest in this period.
No, I think resting is for midweek. Well, Pate getting turned around there.
Puck pops out to center. It's McLeish to retreat. Gets it over to Mason Kennedy in his 150th NZIHL game. And now here come the Red Devils. Trying to get something going here, but Admirals have had an answer thus far. Now Lowe has it in the zone, but deemed offside as the puck just squirted outside the blue, so we'll get a whistle.
Yeah, he never quite left the zone as that puck trickled out and back in, so offside's the call. And as we inch towards the end of this one, it's funny because just like yesterday, the shots are pretty much even. The total chances fairly even. Wouldn't think this would be a 5-2 game at this point.
Turnover here as Haast able to get control of the puck to find Morris. Trying to cycle something down low. See if they can find a break in this staunch Admirals D as that deflected shot goes over the glass for the whistle. The Red Devils need to manufacture something going, maybe even print off a goal. So if you're looking for help, go to Print Plus, official printing partner of the West Auckland Admirals. Visit printplus.co.nz for all your printing needs.
So good, Joel. So good.
So here's Schernitz, able to bring it into the zone. has a little bit of time in the far corner, but coughs it up to Reese. And now Haas, if he can turn around, can make a play on it, but Hayward Jones was able to slow him up. Now Haas trying to get some work done with Brown, the defenseman, playing deep behind the net to, again, try to manufacture some sort of offense as the puck goes out of play.
It's been interesting on that right side where the pump ad is on the glass there, where the perspex is a little lower. Every time that puck gets played out, like the players are just trying to bump it out to neutral. Some reason that side seems to be allowing it to go up and into the Admirals bench. A lot of stoppage over there.
So Morris finally taking a break in the circle as Moncrief rips one just wide. And now Dagg has it going the other way. He's got Rudy and Quigley with him. As Rudy steps up for a big hit on Maestronach. Then a turnover here. Quigley puts one on, but that's steered away easily by Reason. Now far side looking for Moncrief, but Dagg is able to step in front of that. Now Boole able to dig it out and get it over to Tappan. Tappan brings it into the zone. Runs into Kennedy for a big hit, but the defender still on the attack. And again, the puck will fly over the glass for a stoppage in play.
Well, I think at this point, they're going to let Morris get some, well, no, they're not going to let him get some oxygen. They're just going to put him right back out there. Why not, right? But they are letting Haas take this off the dot. And they probably should at this point. They've won a lot of their face-offs today. That's another thing that's really surprising. The Red Devils, I think, probably have about a 60-40 ratio on face-off wins today. That hasn't mattered, and it hasn't turned into more chances. They've started with the puck, but that doesn't mean they've had enough effective chances at goal against Chaba.
So here's Kennedy just to play it up the zone with 3 goals and just over a minute remaining. Not too much urgency here for the Admirals.
No, they're clearly playing this one out. It's not like it's Vancouver the other night against Dallas. That I think that was a 5-2 game, funny enough, and they won 6-5 in overtime, and then were promptly eliminated, so there's that. But I'm guessing against that one, since that was the first time ever done in the NHL.
There are going to be some tired legs on that flight home, I imagine, down to Christchurch.
Oh, late shot there by Brown on that offsides. Yeah, and the funny thing is that plane's going to leave pretty quickly here. I think it takes off in about 90 minutes, so let's get that going. Yeah, it's a 9:15 flight, Joel, honestly.
Well, it's going to take you 25 minutes just to get to the airport from here.
I know. It's going to be close. Hopefully we go to the right airport. That'll be the important part. And as we wrap this one up, Joel, I want to say thanks. It's been a pleasure doing this. And also shout to Bryce from yesterday. You guys have been great hosts. Thank you for having us up here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, except for the lost part, there's that.
It's been fantastic having you in the booth. So thank you for traveling all the way up for Christchurch for us this weekend.
Moncrief giving Hart just one more. And they're having after-game discussions. I think it's like, hey, so where are you eating tonight? Oh, I don't know. You want to go get a steak? I don't know. Oh, I got to get a flight. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. The Admirals pull this one off. 5-2 the final. And they get 6 points out of this weekend and squarely put themselves back in the playoff hunt just before the tournament break for the IIHF World Finals coming up here in Dunedin in a few weeks.
And the next home game here for the Admirals will be 24th, 25th of May, where they host the Phoenix Thunder out of Dunedin. So be sure to get your tickets to check that one out. Thunder also looking strong and renewed this year.
Oh, yeah.
This is, I think it's going to be a much tighter table this year than we've seen in many years.
You know, the change with the Thunder, that's been a great thing for the league. I think it's opened everything wide open. It can end anywhere. The 4 playoff spots, that's also a great thing for the league, allowing more teams to have a chance, and we'll have a full semifinal weekend this time around. But yeah, you just don't know where this is going to end. They're going to have a month-long break pretty much for almost all of the teams for the Ice Blacks. And whatever happens when they come back, this will play a big part into it. And the Red Devils have a hole to dig out of here, where the Admirals are rocketing up the chart here and are putting themselves in a good spot.
Indeed, some stellar play on both ends. We had Morris doing a solo effort off the draw. We had Haas with a nice dangle and finish for himself.
And a hat trick yesterday.
So the imports have definitely been making their presence known on both sides of these rosters. But a shout out to Chabo, who really shut the door tonight when it mattered most.
Yeah, he sure did. So I think we'll leave it there, mostly because I have to go catch a flight. And thanks again, Joel. Thanks again to the Admirals organization, the NZIHL, for having me up here. We'll see you guys at the IIHF. The women's tournament starts, what is it, tomorrow? Tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for he gives the head nod because he's flying out there, too.
Big shout out to our producer, Josh Kretschmer, giving you all the looks and action we see tonight. But thanks to, most of all, to you for watching this stream of the NZIHL. Stay tuned all season. We'll be here on YouTube. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.